Hi everybody, Scott Kelby here and welcome to the Photoshop Insider. I wanted to throw a little video together for you because I've been having so many people ask me how I make these travel layouts that I do. And I did actually a video on this back in 2008. I believe it was December of 2008. I did a video on this using Lightroom 2 and an old version of iPhoto, but I also showed how to do it using Lightroom. And I also showed how to do it using just Photoshop CS4 at the time. So if you want to go back to 2008 and you want to see how to do it just in Photoshop or just in Lightroom, you can go there. Of course, it's easier in Lightroom 3. But what we're going to show you is my workflow for doing it today. And this is just what I do. I start here in Lightroom, narrow it down to the photos I want. Once I get the photos that I want to use in my photo book, I export them as JPEG. So I just go here to File, Export, and I choose the burn full-size JPEGs, but I actually want to save them to my hard drive. So there we go. And I put them in a folder called, London Finals or whatever. And then you hit export, and it just export all of the images out into a folder. So I do start in Lightroom, I do my tweaking here, and any little tweaking I need to do in Photoshop. When I'm completely done, then I export them as JPEGs. Now, I'm not going to make you wait around for that. I already saved them out here to my desktop. So what I'm going to do is grab this folder of London JPEGs and drag them down to iPhoto. iPhoto's going to import them, and that's how fast it does it. It's pretty quick. So it imports them. All right, so here they are now in iPhoto. This is Apple's iPhoto, the free software that comes with your Mac, and that's why I recommend to do this because, number one, it's free. Number two, if you have a Mac, you already have it. And number three is the built-in templates are fantastic. So we'll select all the images that we want to use in our book, and you go over here to Create. Click on the Create button. It says, do you want to create an album, a book, a card, or I want to create a book. So you click on Book. And it loads the books, and you can choose hardcover, softcover, or wirebound. We're going to build a softcover book, which is normally what I build. All right, now, it shows you a few of your images down here, and then it shows you what your first image that you saved is going to look like in different layouts, and it kind of gives you a preview of the layout down here. So here's Photo Essay, which is not bad either. Modern Lines, which I don't think I've ever used that one. Family Album, Line Border. Let's go to the one that I actually used, which was, I don't believe it was Contemporary, though one of the things I like about Contemporary was it has square layouts, which is kind of nice. But we didn't use Formal, or Texture Border, or Simple Border, or Snapshots. Folio is the one I normally use. That's the one I use the most, but I thought I'd try something new this time, and instead did not go with Asian Travel or Old World Travel. Where was it? Picture Book. This is the one I went with right here, Picture Book. So you click Create, and it kind of throws the images in a random order into your so it does an auto layout to get you started. Here's why I love that, because sometimes you will look and you'll immediately see pages that for whatever reason just work together. You're like, wow, that page looks good just like it is. So for example, like this burger page here. This doesn't look bad. I think that page is done. And let's see what else. That page doesn't look bad. That one's probably done. This one needs some work, and this one needs some work. And so some of these, the order's not good. So if you want to basically look at your pages or change the layout and things, you can go to the layout options. It brings up this little panel so you can decide how many things you want on a page. So we'll start at the very beginning. All right, so here's the very first page of the book, and I don't really want that underground shot in there at all. I don't want to delete the page, I actually want to delete the photo. So you click on the photo and hit delete. Then you go to your photos and say, okay, well, which photo do I want in here to start with? And let's just go through and see if you like a photo here, and if you find one you like, which is really none of these, but you just drag and drop it. This thing lets you scale it and move it, so easy enough. And then over here, you can actually go to the layout thing and decide how many photos you want. Now this page is set up for 3 photos, but I'm going to go ahead and delete the photos and start from scratch because I don't like the way they look. Then you have 3 spots for photos. You can choose different layouts. This one you can insert a description, different things like this. These are like title pages that would start maybe a chapter or something. Then once you get the layout you like, you can go and choose which photos you would like in there. So we'll say, let's drop this one in there, then a market shot, and maybe the post office shot. And then again, you can kind of position them in the page. That's really all there is to creating these books. And you can just go to the next page and see what's there, and that shot looks very familiar. Let's put a different shot in there. Actually, let's go ahead and build a page from the British Museum. Get rid of that, get rid of that, get rid of that, and instead, let's choose more pages. Let's go to Layout, and we'll choose 5 photos for this page. And then you can choose a 5-photo layout, maybe like 4 across the top or 4 across the bottom. All right, I'll go with 4 across the bottom. And let's see if I have enough from the British Museum. That's the same photo again, isn't it? We'll go with that one, that one, that one, and that one. As it turns out, I don't have enough photos to fill 5 pages of this same look. So I can just go back to Layout, choose 4 photos, and then choose a 4-photo layout like that. So really, that's all there is to making the books. The actual making the book part is pretty easy. And if you want to add more pages, you click the Add Page button. You have options of what you can do with text and different things. But I'm going to hide this panel. And you can also, by the way, choose from this pop-up menu how many things you want. And you can also do a spread. So if you want a 2-page spread, you can choose that. And then it's 1 picture extends across the 2 pages. So that's kind of cool. And there's different styles, too, that you can do. Besides that look, you can do one that has, one that overlaps the page and still gives you a map. And you just put in the city that you're going to, and it marks the city on the map for you. And then a secondary picture. So if you wanted to add another picture over there, then you could add London in your map. You'd have to go to the little map thing and add that. But anyway, that's pretty much the how it's done. Now, when it's finally done, the way I show you it on my blog is to hide this, hide that, and then I just make a screen capture of the page that's here. This is an ugly page. So let's find a better looking page. Well, that actually wasn't bad right there, the 4 of those together. So once I have the layout that I like, I would just make a screen capture. On a Mac, it's Shift-Command-4, and you just drag it out over the exact area that you want. And that's one way to do it. And it makes a screen capture of that page. I mean, that's pretty much all there is to it. I save those, open those in Photoshop, save them as JPEGs, and upload them to my blog. Can I tell you what the real fun part and the real challenge of this is getting pictures to look good on the same page. Like I said earlier, sometimes it's very easy. You throw them there and they just look great out of the box. But sometimes, like this one, I think looks pretty good just like it is. Though, I would probably, because this burger and that burger are pretty similar in size, I might click on this one and make it a lot bigger, just so it has some visual interest from the other one. You can also choose your page background colors here, so if you wanted it to be a black or a gray, you could choose that there as well. It kind of looks stupid, frankly, but I think we'll stick with the white. But I think that's the real fun and challenge of this. One of the things that you can do to help yourself out along these lines is when you're putting pages together, let's go back a couple, is, and this is going to sound really simple, especially for anyone that's done any design work, is that people usually find pages pleasing when the object, whatever it is looking or aiming or angling towards the center of the page. Here he's looking off the page and he's dragging your attention away. And here the horse is looking that way and it's dragging your attention. So these two would actually be better if you swapped them. You see, I just drag and drop them to swap. Now he's looking this way, he's looking that way, and it just creates more visual interest. And if one was not facing the right way, you can always just control click on here and choose mirror image, and it will flip it the other way. So if you really said, no, I want them on the other pages, but they need to be flipped, you could do the mirror flipping. But it's one of those things where you're going to have to kind of move things around and pair up different things to find out what works together, because some things just don't work that well. Now, these two happen to work okay, and they work okay. This page looks good by itself. I don't know if this page goes with that page. And the only best way to do it is to try a different picture. Let's get rid of that, because that was kind of a, let's take a look. It's kind of a gray. Guy's wearing black. It's all gray. Maybe something more colorful would go better with that. Let me just take the photo out, not the page. Bring up the Photos palette. Let's see if we can find something more colorful to go with those two. That would be, well, that salad would probably be fine with it, wouldn't it? I think that salad might be the only thing that's fine with it. In fact, what was that salad? There we go. That's probably a better looking page. So that's kind of what the challenge of this is it's the fun and it's the challenge of putting these books together, is finding things that work pretty well on the page and making sure that simple things like the images are aiming towards each other. Well, that's it, guys. I know this is kind of short and sweet, but I did have so many people ask questions about this. I thought, what the heck, I haven't done it since 2008. But if you do a search up in the search box right here on my blog for iPhoto, and you just go back 3 or 4 entries after the search results come up, you will find the December 2008 versions of how to do this in Photoshop CS4, which of course works same in CS5, and then Lightroom 2, which is actually even easier in Lightroom 3. There you have it, guys.